You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
The views expressed by the individuals during this broadcast are their own opinions, and they may not be the same as those of their group or other organizations they may be involved with.
All medical advice during our broadcast is not a medical opinion and should be checked with your medical physician.
Good evening and welcome to the Pace Radio Show. We're live here at paceradio.net, and good evening to all. How are you doing, Tamara?
It's a day.
Yes. How's the weather?
Actually, it was pretty nice today, to be fair.
Yeah, it was 20. It was 20 degrees. Yeah.
-5 at night, and then it was 10 or 12.
What? -5 at night.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We had like a +13 or something last night. Really.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was like 20 today.
Oh no, it's like 5 degrees.
Sun and cloud. Tomorrow will be more sun and cloud, but the temperature is going to drop.
Well, it's usually we have snow as soon as Halloween hits, right?
Right.
Halloween, October 31st, it's like a give, and then we're locked in, right? And last year before, I can go back in my Facebook memories, and we haven't even had snow yet.
No, nothing, eh?
Well, a skiff, like I'll say, like, where it was like it didn't, like, it was like a half a minute, like it didn't even, like, there was nothing.
Yeah.
So we really haven't had any snow yet. It's precipitation enough to, like, put a little ice on the highways just because, but it's not. Yeah.
We had snow, but our snow was only visible while it was in the air.
Well, that's pretty much what we've had. Like, that's what I mean. Like,
actually, if it was at nighttime, it'd be the Star Wars thing.
Yep. And they found it.
But because it was coming down pretty good sideways, or almost sideways, and but it didn't do anything. It just ground got wet, and
I mean, the mountains are definitely covered, like the tops of the mountains, around us, like, But I mean, even Baker's not like packed in. Like I said, we really haven't had much precipitation either. So it doesn't matter whether it's rain, snow, whatever. If you don't have any moisture, you don't get nothing, right? And that's like, we had a pretty dry summer. We didn't have a lot of moisture in the summer, and we had a very, minimal snowpack. So the moisture is not there to make anything. And then, climate change is a hoax, right?
Right, yeah.
So let's just leave it at that. Because, but again, when we have no snow, we have no snowpack, we have no moisture, we have, like, the ground, you need moisture, no matter how it comes, right?
Well, see, that's the thing. We're, our system here is all set up with the snow and the runoff and the melting of the snow in the spring.
And if you have none, you got no water.
Wells, especially wells.
And our whole city system runs off Joseph Creek, right? Which is in the
Oh, yeah. Okay, I see. Yeah.
Into creek into, whatever reserve that goes through the water treatment plant, blah, blah. So we, like, basically live off mountain water, right? It still's got to go through the treatment plant and get all whatever, like, make sure it's clean and stuff, but we're living off mountain water.
Yeah.
We don't have, like, like I said, we were on, I think, level 3 restrictions this year because the reservoir had, like, lowered down to a limited rate that it never had happened in, like, 70 years prior to.
Right.
So let's just say, and like I said, it's not gotten much better. Like, we've gotten, we've got a bit of rain and stuff here and there again, but it's not, yeah.
Yeah, we have 2 ponds here, and they were lower than normal, I would say. Like, their peaks this year didn't match the peak of last year. I know that.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't have water going by my front door this year like I did last year.
Well, yeah, we've had, like, a number of times where it's big torrential downpours. My basement's been flooded from raining. right? I've had
Oh
snow
yeah, yeah.
coming in my carport, and I had to like get the snow shovel to like scoop it out of the kitchen, kind of thing.
Right.
Windstorms and stuff, and these are things that don't normally happen in our area. But again, like I said, when you're ripping down mountains due to coal mining in the Elk Valley, which is 2 hours east of me,
Yeah.
and then you've got
Oh,
clear cutting all around us with the mountains
the clear
because
cutting.
they're logging. And you'll be oh, there's no, there's a huge lumber industry in British Columbia, huge, and they're just clear cutting everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And they're doing it in
The
Nova Scotia. They're doing it all over the country, but BC seems to be selling off as much crown land as they possibly can to private. Not really sure why, probably because then they don't have to give it back.
no. I had a request sent to me the other day by a good mutual friend of ours. That's Debbie Stoltz-Giffen.
Oh yeah.
Sent me a request and asked me if I had any Treating Yourself magazines available.
Of course.
Wow, it's been a while. So yeah, I don't have a lot. I have a few, right? So I put 10 or 12 into a box, including issue number 1,
Mm,
and I've got them in the box, and they will be going to the mail either tomorrow or Friday.
awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, a few different issues, and 2 of each. So there's probably 12. Either 5. So it's either 5 or 6 issues, and there's 2 of each.
Nice.
I'm gonna send it down, and she'll be using them. They have a bazaar that's coming up. So
She's busy. And she does like crocheting, and she's working with her community center, and then she's protesting and writing grants. She's a busy lady. She's
yeah,
so
busy lady. Yeah.
yeah.
So she just said, just said that she was looking for them for the bazaar, and I said, sure, yeah, okay. I don't know what they're going to be used for. Maybe I'm giving away something here. Something that's
Well, I know
quite.
that we've got mutual friends across the country that are always looking for stuff for donations and stuff for their
Yeah,
CSPs, right? Because I know Chris has always got, and I'm like we're always fundraising and trying to make money to make sure that our program stays sustainable, right? Like right
mhm.
now, where I sit right now, like I'm still good. Like I mean, I don't have to do much of anything. I don't. I mean, I'm out of gummies, right? It'd be great if I could
Yeah, I
get,
saw that you're out of
but,
gummies.
but I still like I can make candy. Like I could, but they like the gummies, right? But I've got enough
Right.
material here that I can get through probably another 3
Yeah,
weeks.
I've never made gummies.
See, and I have, and they go, if you don't like make them, and like the commercial ones are different. So when you get those nice hard gummies, you get like a lot of times they're spraying them with tincture, right? They're buying commercial made um gummies,
Gummies and spraying
and then they're
them.
spraying them with tinctures, right? And then so they lay them on a parchment, spray them with a tincture, let them dry, and then they package them. In order to make gummies for them to sit up like that, they have to have a lot of preservative, right? So you're talking like
Yeah.
Jello, Knox, and then citric acid, and then they still have to be refrigerated because they go moldy. It's Jello.
Well,
It's
that's what I was going to get to, is the fact I've seen so many people, comment or complain about them going moldy. How can I not?
right. Why I do not make gummies, why I make the hard candy, because there's absolutely no shelf life on a
Yeah,
gummy, but if you put them in the mail and send them to somebody within a week, they're moldy. People don't want to put like they want them to be a gummy, like the commercial ones that you buy.
right,
They're made
right.
commercially like that. They are set up with so much preservative, and
Yeah.
it's made with this. I'm not even like
See,
it's a gelatin, but
that's that's my concern. When
right,
That's why I stopped eating gummy years ago when I ended up hospitalized,
right, because there's so
and
many
I
preservatives in
was worried about. So now when if I have a gummy, I try to make sure that it dissolves in my mouth.
well, and the thing of it is too, like fruit natural ones too, like made depending on how they're made. A lot of
Mhm.
people make them with like fruit juice, but then you're still using like a lot of Knox gelatin plus a citric acid or something as a preservative to have them set up, right?
Mhm.
I have attempted to make them several times. They never turn out like they're supposed to. They always end up being like super soft in the middle, and then I've wasted all that medicine or hash or whatever you put into it to make them, and then it's wasted.
Right. Yeah, I know.
And then again, I've made them before, like small, thin ones too, and then within a few days, even in the fridge, they're going moldy, or they go hard, like on the top, and they're not. They don't have the same.
Right.
I
Yeah,
give anybody, but if you're buying gummies from somewhere, they're
okay.
being made.
We have I have access to a chocolate factory store.
Yeah.
And you know, you can go there and buy bulk chocolate, and it's fine on the shelf. But I'll tell you, when you bring it home and you melt it down, and you add butter or coconut oil to it,
That's a problem. You don't ever add that to chocolate to make to candies. You don't
it just melts in your hand.
because
You got to eat it right away.
Yeah, well, no, because you're adding the wrong medium to the chocolate. When you're making chocolates or making hard candy like I do, I use RSO or shatter. You never use coconut oil or butter in them because that's why they melt, because the butter
they just melt.
Yeah, because it's butter, right? Anything warm, coconut oil too warm, it's going to melt. So the chocolate doesn't have enough coagulation to hold up the medicine in the butter or the coconut oil. So what you do is you just melt the chocolate and take your grams of RSO or your shatter and melt it in with your chocolate. And stir that all in, and then it'll set up, and then they stand, and then they'll set up, and you never have to worry about it. But anybody, you can't use butter or coconut oil. That will never work for you.
No, it's keep it in the fridge, and
Yeah,
then
you don't even that, like exactly. So
you keep them cold, they're fine, but
you can bake
in your hand, or they'll get soft sitting on the counter.
Oh yeah, because like I said, it's butter or coconut. But if you're using just straight shatter or RSO, rosin, whatever, without any coconut oil or butter, they will. You can leave them on the counter. That's why I make the hard candy, because it's just got shelf life. I can put them in the mail. I know they're not going to melt in the summer. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to get a big glob of like chocolate, because you can't melt. You can't even ship chocolate in the summer. Like,
oh no, there's no way.
there's a chocolate shortage right now, so trying to get chocolate for anything under about fucking $25 a pound. Good luck. It's really, it's out of this world right now.
Yeah, I think it was like $4, $4.50, somewhere between $4 and $5 at the chocolate factory store.
Yeah,
in the next town.
Right. I'd have to go to bulk one. I haven't bought chocolate for a while. I wouldn't know. I haven't bought any for a while. But even using chocolate chips isn't the same. Like, you have to buy wafers for chocolate.
Yeah, I've had people that've gone to like a bulk store and bought the little discs.
Yeah, those.
You buy them in different colors.
Yeah. Well, sometimes they work. I mean, I bought the Belgian chocolate like that and made chocolates with it for Valentine's Day. I've used that before, but it's not the same. It has to be specific. Well, like I said, because you don't want to have to temper it, right? Like, if depends on your skills. I'm not skilled with chocolate. I can't make chocolate from scratch and temper it and then fucking make chocolate.
I just threw it all in the pot with the butter or the coconut oil and mixed it all in, and then poured it out into molds.
Yep, that's pretty much what I do too.
Then throw them in the fridge. They harden. Take them out of the molds, throw them in a container, and keep them in the fridge.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
I feel you. But yeah.
So how was the CSP this past week?
Busy. We had a lot of people this weekend, and it was kind of chuckled because we knew this other group was going out there to serve them free chili, right? But they went out there at like 11 o'clock in the morning. We didn't get there till 3 o'clock. They were still out there, so they've been standing there from like 11 o'clock in the morning to have these people come in. And the city has done a commission, so this area that they're in is actually sanctioned for the city for them to camp at. It's legal for them to be there. They can set up camps there. They're not going to get torn down. They got a bathroom there. This is a safe place for them to be.
Okay.
Yeah, so nobody had rousled until we got there because they hear my car because it's rather loud because it still hasn't been fixed. And
here she comes.
Yeah, right. And then they come out, and like the one girl, the one lady, she knows me, right?
Right.
And she comes nosing over and she's like, what's going on here? So I gave her my card and I said, we're giving away free medicine for people with addiction problems. What do you want to know? Like, nosy thing, kind of. Well, what time's the best time to come out here? Because we've been here all morning and nobody's come out until you guys showed up. I go, because we're bringing them some sunshine and they got lots of food. They don't need your do-gooders coming out here with a bunch of chili. They don't. They don't need it. The food bank comes out there, drops them off groceries. They can go to, there's several different resources in town that gives them, like, they have access to food. Some of them have jobs, actually. They can buy their own food. All that, right? Like,
just can't find housing.
That's a lot of it. Some of them, yes. Some of them aren't addicted. Some of them are not. They have nothing, but they can't afford to live anywhere in town with either their pets. They've got this, that, they've whatever, right?
Yeah.
And there's no housing here. And let's face it, a bedroom is $1,000 a month for a bedroom.
Bedroom. I know. I've seen it advertised that way around here. $800, $2,000.
One bedroom apartment, $2,200. And I'm like, when the fuck did Vancouver move into our small city? Like, we have a population of 20,000 people. A one bedroom apartment used to be $450.
Hey, I was I was paying like $300.
Yeah.
Then I bought a house. Yeah.
What? Like,
yeah. Then I never knew anything about rent until I sold my house and found out the people who bought our house were renting it out for almost $1,700 a month.
That's cheap.
I went, this was also 7 years ago too, right?
Yeah, right. Well, even that's cheap because I know, like, even when we moved here 10 years ago, to get this house we've got, like our place, it's like 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, right? Would cost me probably $5,000 a month. My nail tech pays her mortgage and her taxes alone are almost $4,000 a month.
Yeah, I know of somebody who's like that. Yeah,
and that's a fancy house up 14th, but her city taxes are $670 fucking dollars a month. Mine are $300 a month for an old house on a corner lot that we've had since 1951 that I've never renovated.
My understanding, corner lots you pay a little more too because you got extra services, you got extra space for services. You got more road frontage to clear.
Yeah, I do. Yep. All they do is shovel me in. They do. Yeah. They plow me in every year. Oh, thanks for that. I pay $153 for you to, shovel me in every year. Perfect.
Right. Yes. All righty. Let's see. Last night, as we are all well aware, the U.S. had a election, which included the presidential election.
Do you hear? You know how normally I have my TV bladding all the time? I haven't even turned my TV on since I got home from work. I can't.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't have my TV on. I have articles in front of me. So the question, one of the questions on in one of them is, basically, and which is very true. What does his victory mean to cannabis reform? What's going to happen? During the campaign, he supported the initiative in Florida, which, by the way, lost. He supported cannabis industry access to banking systems, and he supported federal cannabis rescheduling that was started under the Biden administration.
What did he do for cannabis when he was in office the last time?
Nothing, absolutely nothing. I completely agree with you. Absolutely nothing. Now,
he's going to walk into the White House with a list of revenge and people to go after, and not give a fuck about cannabis or anybody having to do with it.
Let's see, what does it say here? Yeah, they're basically going through the stuff that I already know about, and
even like rescheduling.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there, and
again, like we had somebody about the rescheduling of it. That's not going to do anybody any favors if they reschedule.
No, not really. No, it'll help with the tax end of things.
You want to hand it back to the state like you did with abortion. So basically, he's going like this with it. You know, and that's exactly.
Now, what he has said for this year, or not this year, it was back in 2019. They're saying here in this article, he supports states' rights to cannabis.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, he said lots of bad things too. Believe me.
Yeah, you know, I know.
He said lots of bad stuff about cannabis. You know, he's told the.
If I can't say anything nice, not to say anything about. This is, to be honest, for women and girls.
Now, as far as if he goes with the state, and you know, if depending on if he does the Project 2025 thing, there isn't anything good there when it comes to cannabis whatsoever. And then the
anybody with any addiction, and they will put cannabis under the same addiction reform as anything else. So it'll roll it back if nothing else. Project 2025.
For sure. Yeah. I don't see that being a good sign whatsoever. No. That, you know, that's connected to it. And the on the states end of things, that would show, I look at it as inconsistently of a law across the country where people in some states will be subject to harsh penalties for cannabis. You know, just like, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, Singapore style jail sentences.
Which I think is it Alabama or Mississippi that still has one joint incarceration laws.
Yeah, I'm not sure what state it is. We're gonna review some state stuff when after the break.
Gerald on from New Orleans, they have medical legalization, but only in tincture form. They can't smoke it.
This Florida was the same way at one time.
So I mean, I get the medicinal portion of it, but there are different reasons why people use it, inhalation wise and tincture wise, right? So they're both medicine because this helps with nausea and this helps with sleep. So it's totally two different things that are needed, right? As a medical patient, if you're recreational, you wouldn't want this anyways.
No.
They wouldn't. Like I give that out to the, you know, homeless. They're not like, what the hell is this stuff? I don't want that. I'm like, help with the cravings and help with, I don't care. You know, they want the smokables, they want the gummies. They don't want that.
They don't want the tinctures, eh?
Not really. Tastes funny, they don't really care for it. And then like, okay, well.
You know, and then, there'll be
somebody that wants it, right?
Yeah, there'll be lots of states, as you know, there's lots of states that got legalization and medical access. But there's states that don't. And those are the ones that have
one state, like you said, we were talking about the same with abortion. You're in one state, you consume, you get back home, they want a blood test. Right?
Yeah, well that is one of the things that happens in Singapore, where you cannot, where you leave. Actually, I believe I got a
holiday and then come back to the country and have consumed it illegal outside the country and come back home with it.
Yeah,
it's they can put you in jail for consuming outside the country.
Yeah,
which is bullshit.
Under Singapore's, I got it right here. Under Singapore's Misuse of Drugs Act, it is an offense for any Singapore citizen or permanent resident to consume drug in Singapore and overseas. You can rewrite that just slightly to say, you know, in another state, any Singapore citizen or permanent resident or any you know, Alabama citizen, whatever state you want to choose, right?
Like
found to have
consumer. You go to Singapore for a holiday, you get wrapped up in some kind of situation, you're drug tested over there, they will then throw you in jail or kill you for the, because you're in Singapore as a,
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
because it says overseas. Okay. To have been found to abuse drugs overseas will be treated as if he or she had abused drugs within Singapore. So within, just change the state thing. Consumption of a controlled drug is an offense.
That is such an overreach.
And a person may face imprisonment of a minimum.
Oh my God.
A
And then
minimum.
there are people that call Canada a dictatorship.
A minimum of 1 year. What prevents a state from doing that?
Nothing.
Nothing. 1 year and up to 10 years.
Right? Nothing.
Yeah.
No different than they could do here, because like as we see it even in Quebec, you cannot grow cannabis in Quebec. You cannot have power plants in Quebec. You cannot smoke cannabis in your strata, whatever buildings in Quebec. There's no vapor lounges, safe consumption sites for cannabis anywhere in Quebec. Same thing. What, they're gonna throw you in jail for 14 years, mon ami, because you smoke some weed out, in public?
Right.
I mean, they're not gonna probably enforce it. But if they really wanted to enforce it, what's stopping them? Especially now with this new whatever regime we've got coming in.
I see we got a viewer watching from Treating Yourself Facebook page, and they missed the story I told earlier that I'm sending some TY magazines down to the Maritimers United for Medical Marijuana. TY's magazines are still doing their thing after all these years.
Keep on ticking. Yep.
That's right. So,
well, as long as there's still issues to behold, people will want them.
Well, there's not many. I've even got some glass culture magazines that was printed by TY as well.
Yeah,
I got a few of them hanging around.
My flood, like I said, I lost everything.
And I know, eh?
When we lost the house in Tabor, I had left stuff in the basement that we never were able to recoup, which was all my cannabis cultures and all my tree oils, right? I had a big box of all my stuff from Southern Alberta Cannabis Club. Lost all that shit. So then when I got here, moved here, got a hold of, Jody, got a hold of you, I think, or Marco, and I recouped them all, right? All the cannabis culture, all the prior to cannabis culture, like Dana's first, like, before even cannabis culture kind of thing. And it's not like I was supporting, it's because I wanted to have history for me. Cannabis, right? I got
advocacy history, yeah, sure. Yep.
Yeah, I got all those issues of Skunk magazine, and I got all the issues of Treating Yourself magazine. And I was a dumbass and didn't put them in Rubbermaid, and I had a flood in my basement.
Oh, I've got some early Skunk magazines. I was in some of them, so
I think I
grabbed some. And then
I've recouped some, but I think I've got. If I go upstairs to the upstairs bedroom, I think I've got a few, but they've got some water damage. It wasn't I recouped them; I saved them from the flood.
Yeah,
water damage, but I don't care.
I've got all the TYs. I've got. Yeah, they're safely packed away.
And I'm like I said, if I ever are able to get my hands on any of that stuff again, I will never ever put anything in that basement. It's not.
Well, just if anybody was curious about getting a TY magazine, even though you may not get it in print form, very, very limited options if anybody ever got a hold of me looking for a certain magazine. But they're all available at the website, treatingyourself.com. They're all free download, printed off, download it on your computer, you're wherever, and watch it, read it from there.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the nice thing about having that ability, right? Like if it's not in form, it is available online, and then you can, it's kind of there forever, right? Yeah, I'm not sure if michelleraney.com is still up or not, but I could check that out, I guess, right now. But that's another thing.
You can check that out.
Stuff, because if you want t-shirts, like I got one a few years ago, that was sent to me, and I need another one now if I can get another one, because me and my dang bleach issues.
Oh,
right? Oh, it is still up. Woohoo! Right on. Okay, so that's awesome. There it is. So you can then see that. So you can actually absolutely, it's still up.
That's still there. michelleraney.com.
Yep, it's still there. Still there. And I imagine that somebody we'll be able to help you with a t-shirt. I should check that out because I know, like I said, I got a hold of Jeff last time.
Yeah. All righty.
Oh, yeah, it's got a brand new picture of her bench on there. That's awesome.
All right, super. We'll get into that when we get back, as well as some of the state's results when it came to cannabis voting, because there was states who voted on legalization and psychedelics and medicinal end of stuff. So we'll review that when we get back from the break. You're watching the Pace Radio Show. We're live here at paceradio.net.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
Limestone City Hydroponics is Kingston, Ontario's hydroponics shop. Take your growing to the next level and create the optimal environment with a tent kit, or maximize your yield with an ebb and flow flood table kit. Either way, Limestone City Hydroponics has more sizes and options to fit your needs. Are you looking for the power of the sun that adapts to your budget? Then look no further, as they have professional grow lighting. They have indoor grow systems that are easy and cost effective, with many options to fit your living space and lifestyle. Cultivate your growing potential. We have everything you need to succeed. And if you can't make it to the store, they offer local delivery to the greater Kingston area. Remember, when you're looking for experts to help you grow, then look no further than the locally owned Limestone City Hydroponics, 105 Sunderland Drive in Kingston, Ontario. Call them at 613-548-0420.
Are you looking to get your medical cannabis grow license? Limestone City Hydroponics can help patients through the process of obtaining their license to grow medical cannabis. What's that? You don't have a doctor? If you meet the medical criteria, Limestone City Hydroponics has a nurse practitioner who can assess and provide medical cannabis prescriptions. What are you waiting for? Contact Limestone City Hydroponics at limestonecityhydroponics.ca or call them at 613-548-0420.
What do you find at paceradio.net? People advocating cannabis education.
Enjoy the buzz of legalization with Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. From lights to plant nutrients, books, consumption accessories, and more, we've got all your basics to grow or consume cannabis. Visit our info center or take a look at our piercing services and body jewelry, now available in-store through Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford.
Are you looking for non-stop, continuous cannabis and psychedelic programming? If you are, then turn your browsers to 420radio.ca or paceradio.net, where you will find the 420 Pace re-rolled Saturday. Everything gets started at 8 a.m. Eastern Saturday morning.
Cannabis edibles are an effective way to manage pain and other ailments, especially when you deal with your trusted partner, Legacy 420, in Tyendinaga Mohawk territory. You see, we lab test every product on site to ensure proper dosage every time, which is critical when consuming cannabis edibles. All Legacy 420 edibles are made by our classically trained baker and chocolatier, and we also have super tasty vegan options.
Our baker has been in the industry for 25 years. She's also a chocolatier. Everything from savory to sweet, your chocolate bars, brownies, butter tarts, you name it, we make it.
Talk to our knowledgeable Cannatex about our incredible variety available. Give your trusted partners a call. Legacy 420 out on your road.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
And you're watching the Pace Radio Show. We're live. What are you checking out? You rolling a doobie?
No, I was actually trying to share our page on everything, and yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, I bought those cookies last show, right?
Yeah.
I'm still smoking it, and I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, really? Eh? I remember, yeah, we were talking about that.
It's just not doing it for me.
No,
too much sativa.
So yeah. Now before the break, we were talking about something that we were gonna follow up in. You're discussing something. Now I've lost it.
I've lost it too.
Okay, well I do remember what my plans were as far as what I was going to discuss.
That's just
was the fact that we know that there was different states that voted on within their state measures on whether to legalize cannabis or whatever. So I found a page that has just a quick little thing on it, like maybe 1 or 2 lines for each state, but it just says that in Florida, it was rejected. Now in Florida, they needed 60%, and they didn't get the 60%. I think they got like 56%, 7%.
To legalize cannabis on this ballot.
Legalize. Yeah, it just lost. So it lost. Yeah, so Florida be just.
Of course it did. Yeah. Like why am I shocked? Of course it did. They're not progressive in any way. They want to stay back in the 1950s. They want to keep their wives barefoot and pregnant.
Well, see, and the thing is that
picking cotton in the backyard.
More than half the people. It's just that the government set the threshold so high for it to more than the 50% plus one, right? Which is the majority. Now, North Dakota voters, they defeated a cannabis legalization measure. South Dakota voters, they rejected a cannabis legalization measure.
Of course, like
I know, right? Now, Nebraska voters approved 2 medical cannabis legalization initiatives on the ballot, but the results of the election could potentially be overturned due to ongoing legal challenges.
Like, are they like did they just crawl out of a cave? Like,
I know, eh? Now, Massachusetts voters rejected psychedelics legalization ballot initiative. Oregon voters approved a ballot measure to require cannabis businesses to enter into a labor peace agreement.
That's because Oregon's closer to British Columbia than any of the rest of them, right?
Okay. Now, Texas voters
are right below us, right? So.
Yeah. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay. Now, Texas voters in Dallas, Bastrop, and Lockhart approved cannabis decriminalization measures on their local ballots. Okay. Yeah. So there you go.
I think it's awfully to this point that they're doing an election in 2024 where they're still asking questions like, is it okay for an adult to consume a plant?
Yeah, I know, eh?
Right? Like here you are. And
one with so many
asking people if it's an adult of consent can actually consume something that grows from the ground. Pardon?
I know. Yes. Yeah.
I mean, again, we didn't figure we'd ever get here in Canada either. Like, let's be fair. Like, when we started this whole shit show back in 2007, but our court systems had already pushed the government to make a medical cannabis program, right? So in hindsight, our rule of law made it so that patients' rights, because of our charter, were allowed to move forward, which enhanced the ability to go recreational across the board federally, right? They don't have that down there.
No, they don't.
54 to 55 states, 56 states down there now. Now they took over Portugal, as they claw their way. Like, I don't see this ending well for any of us. I don't see this not us being annexed and taken over. Honestly, this is not. Yeah, and then they won't even allow cannabis consumption because they don't think that we're adults.
No, I know. I don't. Well, hey, let's. How did the market respond? Headline here says cannabis stocks plummet after legalization bid fails in Florida.
Oh yeah, they did. But the Dow and everything else in the Oscar,
I'm sticking to the cannabis end of things.
No, the cannabis stocks, of course, they plummeted.
Yeah,
because Trump, there is no way in hell he's ever going to give a commodity away that he's not going to be able to have full control over. Period. He said he'd be a dictator on day one, right? You think he's going to let and these people allow him to do this? They do. They're
Well, that's it's I know.
That's
I'm
democracy, baby.
they could have had cannabis legalized where they could have interstate commerce where they could ship
You know,
across.
I
They
like hate
wouldn't
this.
have to worry about traveling, going
Yep.
to their families for Christmas and then coming home after New Year's and getting
Yep.
arrested passing through some state.
Right. I agree. And as much as we hate this, so this is how democracy works.
Well, yeah, yeah. I know. I understand. Completely
I hate
understand.
it. But
I'm disappointed in the people.
me too.
They're the ones who voted. Right?
But again, like I just think, what can you do?
Yeah.
As long as everybody did their part, they went out, they voted.
Yeah.
This is what they wanted. I think they're going to have buyer's remorse in about 6 months, but we'll see.
Well, like they said, some of those ballots were local things, and some of them were state things.
I still can't believe that states they're not seeing that adults should have the right to smoke a plant or consume a plant if they want to.
Yeah.
Make it a little bit more, like I said, a mind your own fucking business.
Yeah,
You don't want us in your bedroom, you don't want us here, you don't want us there, but you vote against your own interests all the time.
That's the confusing part. Everybody, so many people want cannabis to be legalized, but no. And some people say, well, there's more to it than just cannabis legalization. And sure, there is.
Yeah, there is. Sure.
Yeah.
It wasn't worded right. Same, like, or you're not getting everything you want. You take baby steps. You can't get everything you want all at once sometimes.
No, you're not. No. And you just forge on. Just keep trying and see what happens the next time. But I'm not expecting much to change on the cannabis front, other than just the states doing the things that they've been doing for the last. Well, when did California do theirs? 1996.
Well, if Trump sees export import money, you might change that, right? Depends on the law.
Yeah, but that doesn't get it to the person on the ground. That just gets it shipping for companies around the world.
Depending on the taxation that he's going to yank on. He's putting tariffs on everything. He puts tariffs on all that stuff, like hand over fist, like they'll export it, right? Who knows? He sees money in exporting it to Germany.
Well, yeah. Well, he see, like here in Canada, we don't import cannabis; we export it.
Oh yes, we do.
Very little. I know,
we still do.
Very little.
I guess I didn't post this on Facebook.
Huh?
I didn't post this on Facebook about the great big fentanyl bust of the big super lab they found out here in British Columbia.
Yeah, I've seen that in the news. Yeah.
Yeah. So are we not exporting fentanyl too? Apparently we are, because they caught a bunch
or they're just shipping it across the country.
No, they got caught with 900 and some.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, that was heading south.
Right. Out of the country. Right.
Right. Yeah.
So, are we not? Maybe we're not legally exporting it.
Oh no, we're not. Yeah. No, just like there's that lady, that volleyball player who tried to export a bunch of cannabis and got busted in England.
Right. Look at the poor girl that went to Russia with a couple CBD cards.
Yeah. So.
Back in time. Honestly.
I was going to do a quick. I don't think I did. I didn't do a quick Google search on this, but I'm going to do a Google search on something here.
Oh my God, this dog.
And see what comes up. And I don't expect anything to be good, but.
All right, Breezy, I'm gonna have Taven come take you out because But I still, like I said, I can't have the fact that they even had legalization of cannabis on the ballot this time, like that they voted against it still, like they're just fucking baffles, like baffles me, like backward thinking, like what is? Hi, gal.
Oh. I think we're all like that.
Just wow.
The okay. The Heritage Foundation, which has been around since 1973, they're the people of the 2025.
The Heritage Foundation is the Canadian version of Project 2025.
Okay, yeah. Consistently taken, stance against the legalization of cannabis.
Oh my God.
The position is rooted in concerns about public health, safety, and social consequences.
See, here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So, well, yeah. Well, that's what Project 2025 says about it. So
yeah, and like I said, the Heritage is the Canadian version. And Danielle Smith in Alberta, like she likes the cash. Like, let's face it, like she wants the money. She don't mind. She just blew $80 million on Turkish Tylenol. So
they argue that cannabis is an addictive substance with significant negative impacts on physical and mental health.
All right. Cite their studies.
Garfield same side.
You don't want to
they believe that it's still a gateway drug for the young. Its consumption leads to harder and more dangerous substances.
We all know
they say that the legalization could lead to increased crime rates. Even though that this existing states have disproved all this stuff.
Right.
Yeah, not good. That's what it says.
Yeah, I know.
Not good.
It's ridiculous crap.
I know. It's baffling.
It is. Like I said, when did we step back?
You vote against something that you support.
Right.
Right.
No, they'd rather support the pharmaceutical companies because it makes more money as well too, right?
Well, there was I think there were some states that did get the legalization, but there wasn't very many. In that list that I had there, it seemed more was lost than gained.
And then there's this voted on the ballot. So this is what the people voted for. Right?
Yeah. They're on local or statewide ballots. Yep. But yet all these people support cannabis legalization, but you vote against it. Okay. All right.
It's ridiculous. I just don't even. I can't fathom it. I can't wrap my head around any of it. That they vote against about the better interests of of people, right? In general.
Well, time will tell. People see the error in their ways.
I doubt that. I really do, because I mean, even
it's not until they're a victim of it. That's all.
Well, they don't.
That will wake. That's when things get wakened up. It's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. I didn't think it would affect me.
Right? Yeah, it's a little bit too late.
It's
a little bit too late for that.
No, I know it is. Oh, I know that now. Yeah.
Thank you. Now you want to bring those other idiots in too, please. Oh my God. But yeah, it's over. So they can't take it back.
All right, I've now swing away from the U.S. election and the ballots on the cannabis end of things. I got some good news, and that is the fact that Brazil has approved medical cannabis.
Oh, that's good.
For animals.
Oh.
For animals. That's right.
Do humans get them too, or just the animals?
I'm checking this out. That veterinarians are approved by the nation's federal council may prescribe registered cannabis-based medications to animals. Yeah, they do it through a prescription, through a pharmacy. Same as any other medication, right? Like I can go. I've picked up a medication for Tessa at the local drugstore.
Oh yeah, yep.
They said that a study from 2022 conducted by researchers in Brazil found that at the macro level, cannabis appears to be safe for pets, especially cannabis, as long as it's administered in the right dosage level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe that.
Just trying to see what else they say on here.
But if they're only allowing it on pets.
Yeah, they get into the dollar end of things. But yeah, that's good. I think it's good to see this. I don't know how Brazil is. They don't mention it in the article there. Where Brazil stands with it with humans, what the Brazilian laws are on cannabis.
No, I was watching something last week, I think. And they have a cocaine grower or coca leaf growing union down there.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I'm just doing a quick Google search that cannabis laws. I feel sorry for people with big thumbs, I tell you. It is illegal but decriminalized, it says here. In 2024, Brazil's Supreme Court ruled that Brazilians can possess and transport up to 40 grams of cannabis for their own consumption.
There you go.
There you go. There you go. So,
yeah, that'd be a good place to live.
yeah, they just did. They just did that this year. I see there's an article here that was written at the end of June. So they just did that this year.
Are we allowed to immigrate down there? To Brazil?
I don't know. Probably. I don't know that.
But yeah, that's good. I think if more countries open up to legalization, you'd think the states would be, when you see Brazil and Canada and Ecuador, all these places, Germany.
And Uruguay even up theirs. They've changed theirs. They've increased. When Uruguay started, they only had 2 strains that were available.
Right.
Yeah. Now they've doubled that.
But it's not like they haven't tried to drug reform, Safe Supply, because they did the same thing in Portland that they've kind of done here.
Yeah.
And it was a disaster. And Safe Supply, to be fair, is a disaster if you don't have regulated places for them to use and keep them there.
It's it's getting the proper way that that works. That
you can't just hand them some drugs and set them loose.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm one of those people who was able not to use opiate drugs during my condition. I use cannabis instead. But people end up on the methadone, and they have to go into the pharmacy and to take it.
Yep.
And I don't want to force cannabis patients to have to do something like that.
Here's the funniest thing: I use methadone for chronic pain too, not just for addiction, right? So they'll give you methadone because it's just basically synthetic heroin anyway, right?
Well, yes, it is. So are the other opioids.
But it's more American doctors use it a little more than Canadian doctors because I don't think it's actually as widely used in Canada for that. But in the States, they use it on a regular for pain control, for chronic pain. And then I had a friend that moved up from Boston, few years ago, and that was what she was prescribed, was methadone for her pain. It worked well for her. She didn't have to, she could function on it, right? It was a small amount, whatever. It killed her pain in the back. She had like spinal cord injuries, right?
Mm-hmm.
Excruciating pain, but that numbed it enough that she could play guitar, do whatever she wanted to do. Anyway, she got to Canada. No, she had to get addicted to opioids to get to the methadone.
Oh, that's not good.
Right? No. Anyway, that was, because they don't use the same protocols for all pharmaceuticals here as they do in the States. So.
Right.
This too, like, same protocols for, like their strains in, say, California to be, like, would they be, maybe that's what they're worried about federally too. Would there be, like, because we do province to province, right? Like, it's growing out in British Columbia, then it's shipped to Ontario. So maybe that's one of their dynamics in the States, that they're worried that they're going to have too much intershipping. Like, what do they, no control, no regulation.
I don't know. Yeah, well, we won't find out because I don't see it going the national end of things, right? So.
No. That's too bad.
Yeah. It is.
I feel bad for them. I feel worse for them than I do for us. I feel bad for us too because of the whole outcome of this, but I feel worse for them.
Kitty. Yeah, well, we've got lots of work still to do on our cannabis legalization.
Absolutely. We have so much.
Yeah, we still got, people's voices still got to be heard, and stories got to be told, and to make things better.
We don't have medical dispensaries for medical patients up here still, and we don't have options. I did read, though, they were opening Vapor Lounge in downtown Toronto, were they not?
Yeah, what it is, it has permission through Health Canada. It's called it's done through, there's lit research club lit is what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Club lit. But I'm not sure how it operates. I don't think it's something that is open like what we had in 2012.
Well, it's open just
issue 34, page 106. The the Vapor Lounge tour in Toronto at the time, they had a dozen, well, actually about 10 vapor lounges in the city that I was aware of. We did a review on.
I've been to a few when I was out there.
Yes. Right. Okay, let's see. Get directions.
Yeah, I just don't quite comprehend that. I get the whole smoking, no vaping laws, but you got a safe consumption site for alcohol, but you can't have a safe consumption site for cannabis.
Correct.
It makes no sense.
I know, right? Yeah, this is the right one. I'm just trying to make sure that I got the right one here. Clublit.ca.
Interesting.
It says Club Lit is open daily from 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. with half off entry, which is $5 from 3 till 6. Club Lit is a consumption lounge and a real world laboratory where communities come together to independently consume cannabis, listen to music, and share feedback about their experience. Yeah, we did a report on this in the news.
Blanket, I'm frozen.
Yeah, it's a study that's being done because they're doing it with the University of Toronto.
But yeah, like I said, the whole consumption, not being able to have vapor lounges, and I just think that's I don't even know. They made them shut down, or because of what? I don't understand how that even went down.
Okay, now how does it work?
Or did they all voluntarily shut down?
You gotta prove that you're 19 plus. Fill out a quick waiver upon entry, and pay $10. Once inside, choose from a variety.
Girl, you're muted.
Huh? I'm muted?
Yeah, I'm muted.
No, I can hear you. I can hear you. Hello?
Oh, my speakers are on.
Yeah?
There, now I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
You were muted.
Oh, I don't know why. I can hear myself on your speakers now.
Now you can hear yourself on my speakers.
I could. You're not now. Okay. So you pay $10 to get in, you sign this waiver. Once inside, choose from a variety of accessories or feel free to roll your own. As part of an ongoing study in partnership with the Toronto Metropolitan University, you can also fill out an optional survey to feed your for feedback. Choose advice.
So are they selling, or you have to bring your own?
Bring your own. BYOB.
And then they'll papers, or where they got vapor lounge, like vapes, or
so it's where it's gonna go from here, I'm not sure.
Well, why do they have to have a study of something we've already gone through?
Oh, I know.
We've already done.
I'm just trying to find Richmond. Oh, it's right downtown, Eastern Avenue, Richmond. Turn right onto Yonge Street. There you go, 361 Yonge Street.
Oh my God.
Yeah, right downtown.
Isn't that like right where Vape Central was?
I don't know what the address. I don't know. It was on Yonge Street, yes, but was it 361? I don't think so. Last I heard, it was some kids thing or like a bowling alley or something, amusement thing or something going on in there. So, yeah, at Vapor Central, their old location. So, all right.
That's weird.
Maybe not a bowling alley, but some type of kids activity thing or something. It's not like a regular bowling alley. All right, time for us to take our break. You're watching the Pace Radio Show. You're live here at paceradio.net, and we'll be about 3.5 minutes.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
Legacy 420 have an awesome array of cannabis-infused beverages, from pop to Nature's Nectar's teas, all in amazing flavors. What a selection! We even have a delicious mango-infused juice, and let me tell you, it's delicious.
Everything is infused in-house, so we buy our syrup from the same place where everybody else buys their syrup for their pop, and the infusion is done in the lab. It's all canned here, labeled here, produced 100% on Tyndonega.
We have 2 lines of drinks. One's called our Nature's Nectar. That was our original line that we came out with. And then we also have a line under the Red E brand. We have them in 10 milligrams, 30 milligram, and 60 milligram cans.
What a great selection for a get-together with friends or after a long day. Remember, if you want to wet your whistle with on-site lab-tested products, come see your trusted partner. Legacy 420 out on your road.
Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. Open Monday to Friday from 10 till 7 p.m. or by chance. Check out our flags, our t-shirts, plus our hats, and look of that supply of rolling papers, plus much more. We've got bongs and your favorite herbal vaporizers. Look at all the incense we have, as well as for those who collect knives, check out these knives in our collection. And while you're here, stop in to see Shay at the piercing room, where you can get poked by Shay. Daily deals, check them out. Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford, Ontario. Limestone City Hydroponics is Kingston, Ontario's hydroponics shop. Take your growing to the next level and create the optimal environment with a tent kit, or maximize your yield with an ebb and flow flood table kit. Either way, Limestone City Hydroponics has more sizes and options to fit your needs. Are you looking for the power of the sun that adapts to your budget? Then look no further, as they have professional grow lighting. They have indoor grow systems that are easy and cost effective, with many options to fit your living space and lifestyle. Cultivate your growing potential. We have everything you need to succeed. And if you can't make it to the store, they offer local delivery to the greater Kingston area. Remember, when you're looking for experts to help you grow, then look no further than the locally owned Limestone City Hydroponics, 105 Sunderland Drive in Kingston, Ontario. Call them at 613-548-0420. Are you looking for non-stop, continuous cannabis and psychedelic programming? If you are, then turn your browsers to 420radio.ca or paceradio.net, where you will find the 420 Pace re-rolled Saturday. Everything gets started at 8 a.m. Eastern Saturday morning.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
Welcome back to Pace Radio Show.
My kid, he's hungry now at 7 o'clock today when I've been, anyway.
Oh, yes.
Teenagers,
yeah.
right?
Right. Time for dinner?
2 hours ago. He wasn't
2
hungry.
hours.
Yeah.
Didn't want to eat then? No.
He does. He doesn't know what he wants, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I see that when it comes to medicinal cannabis, that being that I know that you were involved there with the helping people from Ukraine there a while back. So I see that there's a report that they're gonna start supplying medical cannabis to Ukraine. They've already approved. Yeah, they approved it back in August that for medical cannabis to have a program, but now they're going to start shipping it there.
They were very, like I said, open to it when they've come here. They've asked for it, to be taught about it. So I think that because they grew hemp, a lot of hemp.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Now it might be limited what it is, but because it just says here, cannabis resin extracts and tinctures are excluded from the list of dangerous substances in Ukraine under the new policy. So those would be on the way there. They might not have that, the smokable herb and stuff, but extracts would, extracts, resin. Those are smokables, favorables.
Mm-hmm. They are, and that's what I mean. Like, I know that they knew how to infuse coconut oil. They still had access to good.
Did they? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But it was the growing portion of it, because they had great soil. They had great growing. Like they're like, well, because they grow wheat too, right? It's a breadbasket of Europe. So they have that same season that we do, the 12 and 12, right? And the same certain, like the grow season where the wheat, and then in the fall, right? Same
right.
You've got. So it's kind of ideal. Where, like I said, when you're in Jamaica, it's 12 and 12 all the time. So it's hard to keep your plants out of flower in Jamaica, right?
Yeah. No, they say that. No, it says they have to develop bylaws that regulate all processes in detail and will allow the patient to receive medicine from medical cannabis. So that goes back to the resin and the tinctures and stuff. Now it says here that they are going to set up licensing conditions and stuff to be able to grow cannabis, but I can see that probably be more on the line of businesses.
Like I said, it's so good over there right now.
You have to do everything they say here, from regulations for importation, cultivation, to dispensing to a patient in a pharmacy.
Yeah. Like I said, it's, who knows? because it's hard to get any information out of. And like I said, the people that we brought over here, none of them were cannabis patients, or you know what I mean. Like we had one that was interested, 2 or 3 that were interested in it, but not even so much for more for recreation than they were for medical, right? They
Yeah.
wanted to make the tinctures and stuff, and infuse the oils for baking, but they wanted to just because they had a grandma that was needing to calm down.
Now they're also going to have to allow the National Police must have free access to all facilities under the new regulations. They have a I'm sure that they do here in Canada too, a procedure for purchasing seeds.
I don't know. I said, I'll try and stay out of that whole realm of legalities because I'm not welcome there. Like, I can't walk into an LP and say, "Hey, can I buy your seeds?"
Now it says here it will be possible for them to buy cannabis medicines in Ukraine only with an electronic prescription, which will indicate the dosage form and dosage. The names of the active substances included in their composition. It is expected that medicinal products from medicinal cannabis will be available to patients in the form of oral drops, hard capsules, and everybody's favorite way of taking medicine,
suppositories,
dental paste. Excuse me. Dental paste.
Like, would that be like aerosol in a syringe? Is that considered dental paste?
Well, hard capsules or oral drops, that would be a tincture. Hard capsules. Would that be like our capsules, like that we make?
Well, no, because soft gel caps, right? Like, I don't know what a hard capsule is. Like, what's the difference between a hard capsule and a soft gel capsule? I don't know.
Yeah. One's easier to swallow than the other?
Well, that too.
Okay. Let's force them to swallow the hard one.
Right? You're going to have it the hard way. Take this hard capsule. I'm surprised you said it. Please, I was waiting for you to say suppositories.
It's not herb. And there's obviously it's not recreational access when you have to have it done electronically, approved each time with basically a pass.
What, you walk in there like a robot, open your mouth, and they'll put a couple drops in with your electronic pass.
Well, I don't think I've ever read.
What is an electronic pass?
I don't think it says what the maximum a patient can have.
But what's an electronic pass?
It's an electronic prescription.
What is that?
It means that each time you go purchase it, you have to produce this electronic device instead of having that hard copy or that paper copy that I don't even take a paper copy into the pharmacy anymore. It's all done electronically, and I can just go pick it up at the pharmacy.
Right? Like,
yeah.
Oh, my doctor faxes shit still, I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
They always tell me the pharmacy to check their stack of faxes. I'm like, okay, they're go get
now also designated growers. I've always felt here in Canada, there's always been that's that loophole that our provincial governments and most municipal governments always talked about, was the designated grower and how they're growing for so many patients and getting these large numbers. Well, in Winnipeg, I guess they had created ways or bylaws to deal with designated and personal growers, and they had zoning bylaws that the patients had to go by.
What?
They say under the bylaws, facilities without filtration systems are required to have a 300-meter setback from neighboring homes. Like that sounds like a factory. That doesn't sound like. It says here the county says that there are over 70 such personal and designated medical production licenses in their jurisdiction.
Really?
Yeah. And so, like, does that mean that you as a patient had to go to the municipality to purchase a license in order to be able to grow your medicinal cannabis? Like,
That sounds like a charter challenge because I believe that we're
that
not allowed to do that.
yeah.
That's against our charter within Health Canada, being a patient, medical patient, as far as I was ever told. We'd have to check with our PQ.
They even had a conviction.
No.
Yeah, so that was so there's been an update on that. Okay. They initiated that 2 years ago. They did that in 2024. And they said that they had to do a review after 2 years. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And they said that there's been no public complaints.
Right?
Yeah, or license applications.
They're going, I don't need your license applications. What? Give you a what? Here I am. Come check my stuff.
Yeah. And it says right here this is a new article. And it says, it was done to regulate designated medical cannabis production sites.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yet nobody's come to get a license for those designated sites.
No.
So there isn't any.
There isn't any.
You wasted money making a bylaw to make it so they couldn't. Yeah, but that makes no fucking sense. There was no complaints, but you just made this up from the air. Like, what?
Yeah. They say that at one time that there were approximately 2,000 designated and personal growers.
I don't believe that.
In Manitoba.
In a minute.
And as of October 2022, they say that there's only 20.
Right? Like, shut up. Like, come on. Oh my God. They lie. So they just lie. 22. So 2,000 people just poof. We don't want to do this anymore. Come on. That makes no sense.
These licenses allow the officials to conduct inspections, suspend or revoke a license, or issue a fine. Okay, hang on. So this, it says says all such designated growers for cannabis for medical purposes in the city of Winnipeg are required to be licensed under and comply with the bylaw. And the licensing program allows city officials to conduct inspections, suspend or revoke a license, or issue, which would be not the medical license, but the license that the city issues. The city issues. And to issue fines for health and safety concerns.
You've already jumped through every fucking hoop to get your licensing from Health Canada, and then you got to jump through some more bylaw hoops. I doubt that anybody's doing it. That's why they've had no complaints and they've had nobody apply for one.
Yeah.
Because nobody's going to do that. Like, come on. Like, Jesus. Like, give me a fucking break. I can't even believe that Health Canada, that's against the Constitution.
Yeah, and they had a conviction under that as well. Like, how'd they get that? Like, where's the privacy? Where's that all? It sounds like totally violated.
Well, again, it's a medical licensing.
Yeah.
It's medical prescription. That's under your medical privacy, and they don't have a right to that. It's against our constitutional Charter 7 and Section 7 of our right to private medical privacy.
That case where they said they got a conviction in 2022, that must not have gone any further.
A conviction for what? Bylaw?
The license violation.
Oh my God, a whole conviction.
It would be a bylaw. Bylaw infraction.
And what was the sentence?
What's that?
For this big conviction. What was their sentencing for this big conviction?
Fined. They were fined.
Yeah. Waste
Oh,
of
here
tax.
we go. Here we go. Well, here you go. The Norfolk County bylaw has investigated 12 designated grower locations, laying 56 charges against 28 individuals. Earlier in the year, though, the county received their first court conviction of a plea against a designated grower facility seeking a $50,000 fine, but the decision is still pending. Now, this is an article that was written at the, let me see if I can even find a date on it.
I can't believe that anybody wasted time.
Yeah. Oh, here it is. In 2020. So this is 4 years ago. September of 2020. So this was 4 years ago. So you would think that this would have gotten somewhere about since then.
Oh yeah, absolutely, it should have.
Yeah.
But I still can't believe that anybody would waste taxpayers' dollars making a ridiculous bylaw up like that to waste more taxpayers' dollars to actually enforce it. Like, that is the most ridiculous waste of taxpayers' dollars I have ever heard of in my life.
Crazy, eh? They've already jumped through a bunch of hoops, and now you got to make patients jump through even more.
Well, the thing of it is, the cities are getting $11.5 million a year off the cannabis taxation, and then they're going to make it harder for people to actually do it.
Let's also remember, during this time, and even still today, Manitobans aren't legally allowed to grow their own cannabis.
No, because I know that Wabcanoe was supposed to change that, right? It was supposed to be.
I know it's been delayed.
What's the delay now? What do they even say?
Yeah, there was something to do with regulations and other things that have to be developed and so on and so forth. And
I would think Mohawk should just say, "Fuck you," and I'm going to do what I want.
It's just, I know it's crazy. Eh?
But it is ridiculous over a plant. Like, this is so. Yeah.
I'm just seeing if I can find something. It's been in the news.
Ridiculous shit.
No, it says here. Soon be. It says soon though. Let me see if I can find something. April, September. Just finding something that's in the date wise. It's good.
It's hard to find a lot of stuff about anything substantial in the last year about cannabis.
Okay, here you go. There's something right here. The minister says that legal recreational cannabis growing is expected in 2025.
Well,
Yeah,
considering it's only
it says we expect the bill to come into force in the early 2025. So
That's good. That's
yeah,
good.
they're not growing yet.
No, but in hindsight, that's good because at one point they never figured that they would be able to.
Right, correct. It's progress, right?
Every little bit that we can move forward with, right? Because it's
now, are they still being? Let's see. Was it Manitoba where they're being fined for growing? Yeah, Manitoba for being fined $2,500. Is that still being applied?
I don't know. I would think that they would probably put that in a stay. You'd think.
I would hope so.
But then again, like, then they don't want people to just start growing before things are changed either, right?
No, I know. That was the thing when Canada legalized as well. Is where do you stop enforcing the law? There's still people were upset because they were still enforcing the law, and the argument from the government was, well, the law is still in place. It hasn't changed until October 17th, right?
Right, and that's the thing. And a lot of there was not a lot of law enforcement. There really hasn't been for.
Well, yeah, I think Canada. There was a lot of cases that sort of just drifted off there towards.
I honestly believe that because, like, even like to be fair,
free joint people weren't being charged like they were beforehand.
It's too much paperwork for them too. Much paperwork.
Yeah,
they gotta go
especially knowing that it was going to be just a matter of months, right?
Yeah. Well, even like before they knew about legalization, a lot of cops didn't think it was that harmful, and they figured what a waste of time for a couple of bag and ate like a little bit of pot. Like they didn't. You got caught with pounds. You were gonna get. You were getting it right. But a little bit. Some cops would just throw it away.
Like, yeah. Well, yeah. I've seen. Well, I've
too much paperwork.
Talked to people. Yeah. That have had it just tossed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or just confiscated.
That too.
Yeah.
Smoke
you got a choice. You can give that to me, or I can charge you for its possession.
Well, it's funny now that it's legalized how many actual first responders will admit to using cannabis, right? First responders, police, because they can.
Mm-hmm. Now they can. Yeah, because they're allowed to consume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you think, you son of a bitch, you busted me, but now you're telling me you smoke weed, right?
Yeah, I know.
I don't have that experience, but I'm sure somebody out there does.
Well, back to end up things back at the election. That's some people were upset at Harris because of the fact that there was a time where she arrested people for cannabis, right?
But then she exonerated all of them before she left being the Attorney General of California.
Right, she exonerated. She let them all go.
Yeah,
and they all got pardoned.
Something along those lines. She felt that there was and that's why she was talking about legalizing cannabis now, because she felt that what it had done is harmed Black men, and she's seen the stigmatization and systematic racism towards Black young men, right? And she's seen that, and within her evolution of being a prosecutor and being the Attorney General.
Oh yeah, she witnessed it,
right, and moving into Senate and then become the Vice President. Like, she has evolved, and like I said, their choices, but I think they're going to have buyer's remorse within about.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, let's see. If you got anything pleasant, anything that's coming up.
Well, we need some funds and some more donations.
Yeah, that's a good topic. So you're looking for? We'll end up on this. We'll just end up with the CSP end of things here tonight. You need supplies.
Yeah, like I said, we're not like in the cusp of like being right out. Like I've got enough to last me. Like this week, I'll have to make candy because we don't have any gummies. That's like I said,
people got to know ahead of time. They've got to start planning. If they're going to make something and send it to you. Get it prepared, whatever, to get it there in time.
Right. So it's like, it's probably not going to make it for this Saturday because we're already on Wednesday. Right?
Yeah.
But again,
they'll be there for next Saturday.
Yeah, right? And I've got enough to kind of get us through, but we're going into week 5. So, I mean, you can't expect that all the stuff that I've bought and we had to last forever.
No. You got to continuously
and asking and begging and whatever
correct.
I got.
Raise awareness, ask for assistance.
Right. But like I said, this last week we had way more people. So like the week before we only had 6.
And well, there you go, and that even increases the demand of what And
now, like I said,
replenish your supplies down.
Right. And now the city has allowed them to actually make that a permanent place for them to be. So they put a bathroom out there, like they're allowed to camp out there. There's not going to be anybody come in and take their camps down. It's a place, and they've got everybody like with this new commission. They had a committee put together, and because they've made this known, but we could have 100 people out there next weekend.
You could.
You know what I mean? Like I don't know, because we don't know.
Now you prep so many bags.
No, well, I was going to. And that didn't work. So what I'm doing is I put together so much cannabis, right? So I'll put like 2 grams in so many, like 30 bags, right? I put 30 bags of 2 grams together. And then I've got so many gummies and I'll put 6 of those. And I had 1 bag, so I filled those. And then some tea, CBD caps, like, whatever I've got, right? And then I've just put them in a box now. And I've got the toilet paper and all the stuff in the back of my car piled in there. And they come up and ask them what they need, and we just give them.
Just give it to them. Yeah.
Because I'm just adding stuff, the bags. But I need ladies' socks too. Like I've got tons of men's socks, but I have no ladies' socks, right? I had a few ladies' underwear and no men's underwear. So that, you know what I mean? We've got toothbrushes, but we got no toothpaste. Like you know, things kind of come and go. So like, and we're like I said, I don't want to clothe them and feed them. I just want them to have some cannabis, which is their medicine, some comfort, which is toiletries, and some munchies. Right? So I usually, like I said, we try and give them. Last weekend, we used the can of butter that we had, the anonymously donated. We made bologna sandwiches. So my partner there made bologna sandwiches. We spread the infused butter on the bread with some mayonnaise, some bologna, and off the, you know, and that was it. This week again, I've got some peanut butter that my bosses gave me, and I've got a whole bunch of bread. So I've got still one of these. In fact, I've got one of these 50/50 still left from Daryl. So I'll probably end up infusing some jam this week or some honey or something, and they'll have a sandwich again, because I like to give them a sandwich, like, you know, and a bottle of water. And we had the infused cannellines, which is 1,000 milligrams in a bottle, and we were just freehanding, kind of, you know, here's 30 milligrams in a bottle of water, here you go. But we were opening the bottle and pouring it in front of them, because I didn't want them to think we had tampered with the water. So that's kind of how we did that. But they, like I said, they get a fair bit. Like, you know, you figure they're getting, and my Canadian lumber papers are on the way. But then again, that cost me money to have it shipped, right? So any money that I've gotten is gone too, because I've had to buy.
Well, you're buying supplies,
right?
You know,
And
the shipping costs. You know, they're supplying you with the free product.
I had to
You
pay
just
for
gotta pay shipping.
Yeah, like, but I've had to pay for shipping for all the RSO that I've got.
Yeah.
Like, I've got stuff bought, but again, it's got to be on. Like, you know, I still have, you know, some gifting stuff from you, and I've still got some of that and this. But again, this is I can have 100 people out there this weekend. So this weekend, I think I'll put together 50 bags, and I was only giving them a half a gram before, because I didn't have a lot of flour. So I upped it to 2 grams, because that's enough for a few joints, but not enough to really divert. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to keep it.
Yeah, correct.
Right.
They could give them, you know, 3 or 4 doobies, right?
And then they got gummies and other things on top of it too.
You gotta think like one joint, like it's not a lot.
Well, 2 grams is about 2 or 3 joints. I would.
Correct. Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah. And you know, if they roll dog walker half grammars, then they got 4 doobies, right?
Right. So, and like I said, but that's not the only thing they're getting. They're getting that. Like, they get 5 things or 6 things. You know, that's just the cannabis. On top of that, then they get like toilet paper, some soup, some granola bars, cereal, like whatever we've got donated, right? I got a 40 cup coffee pot that one of my other volunteers got for us, and I'm going to fill it full of hot coffee or hot chocolate or something, and take it out hot, and I'm going to try and find a plug-in for my car, so I can actually keep it hot in the back of my car.
Well, if it's, I've seen those things like you could get them at Tim Hortons, where you could
Yeah, but this is a coffee pot, but I just want to get a plug-in for my plug-in.
Oh, okay, to keep it warm. So it's not like a giant thermos then. It's
it's a coffee pot. I'm gonna fill it with like infused hot chocolate or something. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, there's an idea. Infused hot chocolate. Yummy.
Or soup or something, because like you can get, you know, like those dry soups, and make a great big pot of like dry soup, and then infuse it. And then I've got little cups, and here you go. You know, because I got these syrups that I was gifted. Actually, no, I think I bought those. I can't remember. I just made an order. And
Right.
No, I think those were given. Those were gifts from.
Well, capsules.
I've got some of those too. I got CBDs. I got Haley's Comments. I got 4-to-1s. I got a whole whack, because my dear, you know, lovely Sita donated all kinds of caps and some tranquility tea. She didn't have any jars of icy pot, like the small ones. She just gave me a bottle. So if I want to, I've got some little like packets. I can fill those with samples and put those in the bags for them for some icy pot. But I don't think they really care about so much that. Like, I know a couple of them would, because they've got aches and pains. One's got cancer and stuff. But he got a hold of me yesterday. You know, somebody had stolen his RSO, and I'm like, I'm not coming out in the dark. Like, and again today it's dark. I'm not driving out there in the dark. I'm just not.
Right. Yeah.
Not by myself.
I see we're past the bottom of the hour. Newbie and the Doobies are coming up next.
Awesome.
Oh God, just you know, getting stiff and sore. And
Renos coming, they're good.
Pardon me?
Your Renos coming along okay?
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
We're still doing this. Cut.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt that too.
Yeah, earlier in the show there, I don't know if anybody knows, I was looking down a lot, and that was because I was picking up the shit out of my fingers.
Oh wow.
It's not shit, it's it's medicine, really.
You must get, well, you got, like I said, they're like bonsais, and they're beautiful, and you get to grow them outside in the dirt. So.
Yeah, and I handle them by the stalk, the stems, and all that. Yeah. Looks nice, just sitting there.
Yeah, that's great. It's work. It's a lot of work, for sure.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's not. It's time consuming, and because it's time consuming, it takes up. It's hard to plan things, and sometimes it's just spontaneous and.
Right. Excuse me.
All right. Well, anything else you got on your mind?
No.
No. All right. Okay. Other than that, thanks to everybody for tuning in. Thanks to our sponsors, Legacy420.com, Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, Limestone City Hydroponics, At-Eze.ca. You can find us at paceradio.net, and we're on YouTube. You can find our channel there. We get a lot of viewers from YouTube, so it's nice when I check to see where people are coming in from, and you see it's from the YouTube end of things. So, other than that, thanks for tuning in. What's that?
I don't even have a YouTube account.
No, don't you? Yeah. Well, we got one here for the network, right? So. All right. Other than that, thanks everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you all next Wednesday. Talk to you all later. Let's share PACE everywhere. That way it can help create peace. People everywhere advocating cannabis education.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.